Tanzania.
Continue.
Tanzania was called Tanganyika.
Sudan.
Sudan was called Nubia.
Chad.
Chad was called French Equatorial Africa.
Ghana.
Ghana was called Gold Coast.
Angola.
Angola was called the Kingdom of Ndongo.
Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast was changed to Cote d'Ivoire, but it remains the same.
Continue.
Uganda.
Uganda was called Buganda or East Africa Protectorate.
Madagascar.
Madagascar was called Sao Lourenço, meaning St. Lawrence. Later Malay Island. Later Mogadishu, named after the capital of Somalia.
South Africa.
South Africa was proposed to be named Azania, but it remained Union of South Africa. Currently South Africa.
Mali.
Mali was Sudanese Republic, later French Sudan.
Mauritania.
Mauritania was called Songhai.
Niger.
Niger was called Gen Ngeren.
Libya.
Libya was called Italian North Africa.
Cameroon.
Cameroon was called Rios des Camaros, later German Cameroon with KA.
DRC.
DRC was called Zaire.
Rwanda.
Rwanda was called Rwanda with RU.
Zambia.
Zambia was called Northern Rhodesia.
Mozambique.
Mozambique was called Portuguese East Africa.
Liberia.
Liberia was called Grain Coast.
Burundi.
Burundi was called Urundi with U.
Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso was called Upper Volta.
Continue.
Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe was called Southern Rhodesia.
Central African Republic.
Central African Republic was called Ubangishari.
Equatorial Guinea.
Equatorial Guinea was called Spanish Guinea.
Namibia.
Namibia was called German Southwest Africa.
Eritrea.
Eritrea was called Madri Bahari.
Nigeria.
Nigeria was called the Royal Niger Company, later Hausaland.
Benin.
Benin was called Dahomey.
Lesotho.
Lesotho was called Basutoland.
Congo Brazzaville.
Congo Brazzaville was called Moyen.
Tunisia.
Tunisia was called Ifriqiya.
Gambia.
Gambia was called Cambra.
Comoros.
Comoros was called Comori.
Continue.
Seychelles.
Seychelles was called Seselwa.
Mauritania.
Mauritania was called Dina Arobi.
Cape Verde.
Cape Verde was called Ribera Grande.
Continue.
Guinea.
Guinea was called West Africa. Togo. Togo was called the Slave Coast.
Eswatini.
Eswatini was called Swaziland. And Sierra Leone was called Serra Loya.
This man.